How's it, everyone? Mike at Fitted Life. Today we are installing the Chase Bay's Hydro Handbrake. Also, I purchased their S14 handbrake line kit, so it makes everything easy. It's a one-stop shop, so thank you Chase Bay's for that. Now, this is definitely a dream setup for me. I've always dreamed of installing a pull-style handbrake in the S14, and it's just nice that now I have the means to do so. So here we are, and I know for sure that this is going to make a great addition to when we bring out the S14 for some drifting. So at first it may seem a little overwhelming with all these lines, and it was for me too, especially for someone who likes to think a lot, who likes to plan a lot. But never to fear, I figured it out, and I'll mock this up on the floor and give you a little guide of how everything connects, and also the application and how it all works. So let's get to it. Alright, so starting from the brake master cylinder, we're going to come out of the rear port, and then we'll follow that line. We will exit the engine bay through the firewall and enter the cabin. And this will land us to the Willwood caliper for the hydro handbrake, and it'll enter from the backside and it'll come out of the angle. So when the hydro handbrake is applied, it'll allow more fluid to go to the rear brakes. So from the angled output port, we're going to hit the T. And from the install photos I've seen, it's around the underside of the rear seat. And from the T, it's going to either go to the rear left or the rear right fender well. So let's go ahead and just take the rear right path. And right here, you're going to have to exit the fender well through that fitting. So you will have to cut a clearance hole for that fitting. And then from there, it's just one more line that goes all the way to the rear brake. And in this case, it's the rear right brake. And just for additional reference, this is the rear left line, just mirrored of the rear right. So next on the list is mounting the hydro handbrake to the center console area. So to make my life easier, I went ahead and purchased the Chase Bay's reinforcement plate. It matches the footprint of the hydro handbrake, plus it includes the 3 mounting holes, but they're also tapped, and matches the mounting hardware for the Chase Bay's hydro handbrake. But to make it even easier, Levelride Concepts out of Oregon supplies this. So this is a hydro handbrake adapter plate, and it mounts where the dust boot for your shifter is. So this is going to be mounted right here, and then I'm going to have to figure out exactly where I want that hydro handbrake to be positioned. I haven't fully decided, if I just want to put clearance holes into this piece or tap them. And if I do put clearance holes into that adapter plate, then I can just use this as a sandwich plate, and it should look something like that. All right. Also, one more thing. Thank you so much, guys, Levelride Concepts, for the stickers. They hooked me up with their shop decal, which is the right here, Levelride Concepts, and also Drift Live. Yeah, so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me mount this adapter plate over there, and then I'm gonna mock up the hydro handbrake. How's it, everyone? Good morning. So I'm back on the hydro handbrake install. So I did make a tiny little mistake. I thought I would be okay pre-mounting the hydro handbrake on the plate outside of the car. Once I got it back into the S14, things were just hitting the dash and also some of the cable runs. This time around, I'm going to be a little bit smarter. We're going to make some in situ measurements with the plate mounted and also the hydro handbrake, and that should give us a better path forward. I also wanted to give you a little sneak peek into my design process. So for the mounting hole template, I'm actually going to use Fusion 360, which is a 3D modeling software that I use regularly. And what we're going to do is CAD out the mounting template and then export it into a 3D slicing software, which is Cura. And then from Cura, I can take the G code and input it into my Ender 3 3D printer, and they'll actually print out the printing template, and you'll see that coming soon. It's a pretty neat process, and it also gives me 100% confidence that the mounting holes are going in straight. Yeah, I think it'll be a treat for you guys to see it. All right, so let's get started. Cool, so the Chase Base hydro handbrake is mounted on the plate. Now I gotta run the rear lines. So that requires me to take out the rear seats. And I got a lot of junk back there, but gonna have to just empty it out. Maybe I'll find something, who knows? All right, let's get to work. So, ran into a little bit of a hiccup installing the Hydro Handbrake line kit. The provided line from J-Space is a little short, and according to the guys over at J-Space, they want you to install it pretty close to the center. Now, I think it's okay for the S13. However, with the S14, I ran into a slight issue. So on the driver's side, or on the left-hand side, it's not too bad. You got plenty of clearance between the chassis tube steel and also the fuel tank. However, when we look at the passenger side, or the right-hand side, that's where I saw a bit of an issue. Now, in that area where this line kind of in the proximity lands, that's where all your fuel lines are. So you got your feed, your return, and then also the vent tube. I'm pretty sure it's doable, where you would have to remove the fuel lines to get access to that area and then actually install the bulkhead. But from a serviceability standpoint, it's a bit of a no-go for me. I like to have a little bit more accessibility. So I just said, hey, well, I just can't do it, right? The plan was, I did find an alternative, and it's right near the mounting point, or the mounting bolt for the rear seat belts. It's really in a pretty solid spot. I've already tested it, so I can kind of vouch for that area. And you have plenty of clearance, let's say from once you exit the bulkhead going to the calipers, and it clears the tires pretty well. I'm running 18 by 9.5 plus 15 in the rear, but plenty of clearance. So if you do intend to run the way I'm about to do it, you do need 2 additional lines in addition to the Hydro Handbrake line kit. It's a -3AN stainless steel braided line, about 36 inches or 3 feet, and that will run from the T to the bulkhead. Okay. Speedway Motors carries them. That's where I got them, and they do some pretty quick rush delivery. So if you're in a tight spot, there you go. Let me get that installed, and then we'll run a little cinematic so you can see the final install, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. That is a wrap on the J-Space Hydro Handbrake install. Overall, it went okay. There was like a few slight hiccups, but hey, it happens. And we corrected it. So I am totally happy how the setup went, and the position of the Hydro Handbrake is perfectly fine for me. So can't wait to give it a shot once we hit the track for sure. And that should wrap it up for today. So once again, I'm Mike at Fit-A-Life. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the support, and remember to design your life through your passion. And I'll see you on the next episode of Fit-A-Life.
Life is what you make it. I feel like a amazing. I can't see a way out. I've been stacking face down off canvases I painted. I just spent the rain day on drip I can't afford, but that's the price I pay for the memories I'm making. I've been going places. I've been shaking hands for a chance to really